Good morning, everybody. Jake Filkey here, driving to the church. Excited about my day and my week. All good things. I'm excited. Hey, I was going to talk to you about something real quick, and I wanted to just kind of had a great weekend. So much fun. I was on vacation last week and got a call from Mary and Keith Hudson, who have a prophetic gathering in Santa Barbara. Decided to go down hanging out. We had this amazing, incredible service that was just super prophetic, super cool. Just one of those deals where the Holy Spirit is revealing things and people are open. It just was amazing. Started out with maybe like 15 people. By the end of the night, it came out to like 50 or more. It was awesome. Great meeting. Anyway, a few weeks ago, I went to go see a movie, and I have a movie pass, which means I can see 3 movies a month. Which movie pass? Shame on you. That's not what I signed up for. Besides the point, though. But I went and saw a movie, and I was thinking that I was going to see the movie Goosebumps. And when I was a kid on Nickelodeon, there was a show called Goosebumps, which is like a light version of Tales from the Crypt, or something that was kind of scary, little scary skits, So I went to the movie because Jack Black was in it, and I didn't actually go to a Goosebumps movie. What I actually went to was a movie called The Clocks in the Walls, or something to that effect. Very obvious that they're trying to start a grouping of movies, a sequel and blah, blah, blah. And so, anywho, I went to see this movie, and the thing that was shocking about this movie was that they were not doing like a normal fantasy type of magic type of thing, which I think is always crossing in that verge in terms of gray area, but they were doing a blatant teaching of witchcraft to children. This is what tripped me out was, of course, I studied demonology, and I studied things of that effect. I'm from the deliverance movement, which means that we believe that God at any moment can deliver somebody from demonic oppression, from addiction, from various types of physical things that we believed are caused by oppression, and we believe are things that God can heal immediately. But because of that, we often get people that are severely either demonically oppressed or demonically possessed, and there's a huge difference between the both, which I'm not going to talk about today. But because of that, I've studied quite extensively demonology, names, the different demonic names that have been known, and personalities that have been known through history. These names that we keep hearing, Zozo, and there's different names. These are not, puffs of smoke. These are not Casper the Friendly Ghost. These are legitimate demonic, and when I say demonic, what I mean is these are legitimate spiritual evil they're evil principalities, but they're evil personalities. They're not just a blank little red person with horns and a tail with a pitchfork that's convincing you to do one thing. And so these are legitimate, very, very old, millennia old, evil personalities and evil entities that have specific goals and specific tasks, and they are working towards something specific when they are trying to attach to somebody or oppress somebody. And so I'm watching this movie, and in the movie, we're not talking about like Hocus Pocus or Alakazam or EBDBDB, nothing like this. We're talking about Jack Black is teaching this little adolescent boy, giving him the names of the demons, giving him the actual spells to summon them, how to summon them by name. This tripped me out. By the end of the movie, they're trying to make this thing like a fantasy, but they could not make it a fantasy. It was so blatantly witchcraft. So even if you're into Wicca, or even if you're into earlier methods of summoning things, this is a scary concept that a child's movie, would literally be instructing children and instructing teenagers how to summon actual demonic evil entities. This is a crazy thing. That's how blatant this movie was. And if you go from the angle that demons are not real, which is not a fact at all. Demons have been something that has been studied for as long as history has been writing itself, 6,000 years or more. We have proof of these things, and they're evil. And so to summons them or to bring them out, my fear would be that you would be opening a door by taking your child, by even exposing yourself to a movie like this. You would be opening a door to something that is ancient and that is evil and that has the ability to harm your family and to harm you. And we've heard stories. One of the things that I was told is a friend of mine who was an international prophet. He had a friend of his that was a prophet to, was he a missionary? Yeah, he was a missionary to Africa. So he had what he called his African room, and he would, every time he would go to Africa, he would bring something back. He wouldn't bring like a necklace back, or he wouldn't bring like, something interesting like a spear or a goat back. He would bring an actual pagan mask. He would bring a mask that was used for worship of the demonic, right? And so he would bring these things back. He would put them on his wall. So suddenly he's got children, life is going on, and his family would say that at nighttime they would hear these objects shaking. They would hear voices that were not speaking English. They would hear noises. They would hear things coming out of this room. So finally, one of the children was woken up by a large bang on the wall coming from this specific room. And when they walked in, the mass, all of them were shaking and hitting the walls. Bang, 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 bang. So they gathered them up, threw them out. The minute they gathered them up and they threw them out, these things disappeared, right? Because these things were used for the purpose of glorifying or complimenting evil entities, evil personalities. So when they opened themselves up to these things, they were opening a door to the demonic, and they were opening a door to being oppressed, and opening a door to, God forbid, that one of their children or one of them would be possessed. I've heard stories of, I had a young man one time tell me that that he had a history of raping women, that he would while they were asleep, he said he would go to sleep and he would wake up the next morning in bed with somebody, and they would accuse him of doing stuff to them. Like he didn't know where he went. He would wake up the next morning, go to sleep in his bed, wake up the next morning somewhere else. That would be horrible. But when you open yourself up to these things, you're going to start experiencing these things that are paranormal, that are on that different level. And so I think that in our culture in general, I'm going to be writing a blog tomorrow, and I'll probably have it out tomorrow, the next day. I'm going to be writing a blog talking about opening the door to these things. And I'm going to talk about a dream that I had years ago that has influenced the way that I've thought about my own life, because I don't want to allow these things into my home. I don't want to allow these things to oppress me, to depress me. I don't want to allow these things to have interest into my imagination, to have interest into my life, have interest into my speaking. There are certain movies I cannot and will not watch. There are certain shows I cannot and will not watch. There are certain things I cannot and will not read. There are things that I will not do for the simple fact that they open doors to evil entities. They open doors to evil principalities. And I thought, hey, it's Halloween. Let's go ahead and talk about these things. Are there things, here's my question to you, Are there things in your life personally? Are there things that you're involved in personally that are opening doors to things in your life? Are there things that you're saying? Are there things that you're involving in your life? Are there movies you're watching, music you're listening to, things you're reading, things you're allowing into your home that are of demonic root? And are they opening doors to things? Are you waking up and hearing noises in your house? Are you seeing things move around? Are you seeing things getting knocked off of shelves? These things are real. They're not fake. They're not ghosts. They're not Grandma Nani trying to make you banana pudding in the kitchen. These are real evil things that you may be allowing into your life because you're opening doors to things. So I'd encourage you. I'm probably going to title it like Halloween or something like that. Check it out. Please hear what I'm saying. Be careful what you allow into your life, because they can affect everything you're doing in your life. All right? God bless you. Have a great day. I will talk to you later. Peace out.